The world and the United States presence and authority or hegemony is changing rapidly under Joe Biden. Peace deals and old alliances that used to depend on United States diplomacy and the US dollar are now being handled by China and Saudi Arabia and others. Where is the United States and the United States dollar heading, in your opinion?
Well, on our cover, the Trends Journal, it's Death of the Dollar. And then there's a tombstone and it says, rest in peace. In God we don't trust. The dollar, it's over. The United States became the nation that our founding fathers fought against. We became Great Britain. The sun never sets on the British Empire. We'll kill people all over the world to steal what we want to steal in the name of nobility. We're going to bring freedom and democracy all around the world, America says. So we're going to invade Iraq. You think we invaded Iraq because their major export was broccoli? We're stealing the oil from Syria. We're getting those ISISes as well. We became what they became. And when you see what happened to the UK, United Kingdom, their pound dissolved after World War I because of all the wars that they fought. And America's done the same exact thing. And the world is tired, outside of Europe, of United States hegemony, be it on the military end or the economic end. How could America say, listen, I want all those commodities based on dollars. I'm in charge. No. Bretton Woods is long over. This is a whole new world. World War II is ancient history for young people. It was 77 years ago. You're not the leader of the world anymore. And so they have had it with the dollar. They've had it with America. The BRICS are uniting against the United States as well. And here is the story, and it's very simple. It's all about interest rates. The higher interest rates went, the stronger the dollar got. Now, remember, the interest rates went up from zero, and they created trillions and trillions and countless trillions of dollars of debt to fight the COVID war. And now what do we have? A $30.7 trillion debt level. When you put the real numbers in, it's about $280 trillion. But we'll stay with the $30.7 trillion. And now you raised interest rates. Now you got to pay more on your debt. So going back to the dollar went up because interest rates went up. When interest rates go up, the dollar's going to go down, and it's going to be the beginning of the end of the dollar. And our forecast is gold prices are going to spike above $2,200 an ounce, because the only reason gold is down is because of the dollar.
There's been people like Andy Schectman and others that are saying once the US dollar dies, as far as the petrodollar, all these dollars are going to flood back in and we're going to experience hyperinflation. Or do you think that's going too far? Where do you sit with that?
Well, the inflation will keep going up as the dollar keeps going lower, because what do we export? Our exports are only about, manufacturing exports only about, 11 or 12%. So we got to keep buying stuff from other countries. And so the weaker the dollar is, the more it costs you to buy the product. And so that's going to be part of it. And yeah, inflation is going to keep going up as the dollar keeps going down. And again, the dollar is going to go down even if they pause interest rates, the dollar is going to go down. And if they raise them 25 basis points, it'll be positive for the dollar for a bit, for just a short bit, because our other forecast is they're going to definitely lower interest rates before the 2024 presidential reality show. They do it all the time.
Okay.
The guy running for president. I mean, look who the Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen. What was her last job? Oh, she was the head of the Federal Reserve. All right. So they're going to do what the government that's in charge now, the Biden administration, they lower interest rates and they'll try to do everything they can to boost the economy up before the elections. They do it all the time. And again, inflation as the dollar goes down. George Carlin said it. It's one big club and you ain't in it. It's a crime syndicate. They steal our money. They're too big to fail. And they start wars. They're murderers and thieves. So let's go back to Janet Yellen. Again, her last job was the Fed head. What am I, 6 years old? I got the Fed running the country. They took her from there and now she's our Treasury Secretary. Oh, and by the way, I will say this to your face, along with little Jerome Powell. You're either stupid or you're liars, because you kept sending out your crap for almost 2 years that there was no inflation, and saying what people like myself in our magazine saying, oh, this inflation is real. Oh, no, you're full of baloney. We are the feds. We are the Treasury Secretary. It's only temporary. Oh, no, it's only transitory. How could you believe anything coming out of their mouths? It's a crime syndicate. This is against this country that we have a Federal Reserve, number one. It was brought to us by another murderous bastard, may he rot in hell, who gave us World War I, Woodrow Wilson. He gave us the federal income tax and the Federal Reserve. The banksters are in charge of our nation. Oh, it's going to be Easter time. Oh, yeah, Easter time. What happened Easter? Well, about like on a Wednesday, the Prince of Peace became violent, got a whip, and drove the money changers out of the temple. 3 days later, he's on the cross. This is when the banksters were taking over big time, making up stuff like quantitative easing, the bailouts. Only the names have changed. Goldman Sachs, Citi, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan Chase. Criminals? How about JP Morgan Chase convicted of 5 felonies? Hey, I'm Jamie Dimon. We don't go to jail. No. Oh, we rigged the precious metals market. A criminal act. Convicted. Oh, we only rolled, for a couple of years. It's a crime syndicate. They're going to do everything they can to keep making more money for the bigs and for themselves. End of story. Again, they invented a quantitative easing. Didn't teach me that in Economics 101 or graduate school. Never heard of it before. Oh, we'll make up any crap we want. How about negative interest rates over there in Japan and Europe?
Speaking of criminal organizations, OPEC Plus will be cutting oil production by, I believe, around 1 million barrels of oil per day. How's that going to affect gas prices at the pump? And is this a global move, or is this OPEC with Saudi Arabia and Russia using oil as a weapon against Joe Biden's presidency?
No, it's the bottom line. They know that things are slowing down. You're seeing it in the numbers coming out. You saw the job openings were, the worst since 2000 and February 2021. The new job openings was under 10 million. Oh, 2021 February, when they had everybody locked down and freaked out, those lousy numbers. Look at the PMI index. You're looking at one piece of data after another, consumer spending going down. So it's supply and demand. So they're cutting back supply because they need to make money. That's all they care about. And they also, again, forget about gas prices over here, what it's going to do to Europe, because their energy prices are skyrocketed already. Look what's going on in the UK. Well, they're playing around month after month, inflation over 10%, energy prices through the roof, and now they're going to go higher. So no, this is a catastrophe right in front of our eyes. It has nothing to do with Biden or anybody else. It has to do with the bottom line, because that's all it ever is. Like I said, you'd think we would have invaded Iraq if their major export was broccoli, or Libya, or Syria. They're stealing the oil. Or you remember United Fruit? Oh, yeah, we got to get that guy out of there in Guatemala. He's trying to say that United Fruit doesn't own all their country. Why, how dare you? It's just a different product at a different time. It's been going on for centuries.
Yeah.
The Silk Road, the same thing.